Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. This is the Wrestling Fans Insight Sunday Takedown. I'm your host, John Hoppy, here with my brother William. How you doing?
Fabulously tired. How are you?
I am just peachy.
Hmm.
It's been a fun couple of weeks. We'll just say that.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. We also are joined by our co-host Brian the Hype Ballard. How are you, Brian?
Doing good. Waiting for WrestleMania to kick in, but doing good.
I harumph to that. The old Blazing Saddles there. So, and the guy who keeps coming and going, we have our co-host Carlos. How are you doing?
You can't see me. Come on, I'm Austin Theory Cena. That's why.
Well, just don't let the wind.
It isn't easy being green. That's that's the theme of today.
Well, they do have medication for that, by the way. So Then we also have our other co-host Heather. How are you?
I'm doing okay. The hits keep coming with me medical wise. Just found out I have nerve damage at my L5 F1 vertebrae that's causing me to have more trouble walking and stuff. So yeah, it's just more fun here. But at least I got ants. Huh?
I told you we're gonna Darth Vader your ass.
But I finally got answers, to that, because the doctors, kept looking at me funny because I kept telling them about my feet and stuff. And the test they had to do to determine that, oh God, I thought I was going to die. They had to stick this long needle into 5 different muscles in my leg to discover it. But thankfully, I got answers on that, and I just got to find out where to go from here with a neurosurgeon. So.
Oh, Lordy. Well, praying for your recovery, and hopefully they get something to you here very shortly. Because
I hope so.
Yeah, I mean, you've been like this for quite some time now, and it's pretty aggravating, not just for you, but all of us who've been sitting here enjoying your story. Well, not enjoying it, but, taking into your story. So,
I'm having to use the wheelchair more and more.
Sounds like she needs the same surgery I got.
Yeah. Well, they went full infusion on you, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
yeah, but it's 99% pain reduction, and I can walk.
Yeah.
So
you're not gritting your teeth every time you walk like you have been either. So,
yeah, if I'm out for too long and like I can't sit up for too long, and I definitely can't stand up for too long. Like if I'm out riding in the car for too long, and I can't like get the wheelchair out around the car. My daughter practically has to carry me to the front door. I mean, like under my arms and lifting me, and like it's bad. I'm crying by the time I get in the house and like can get into the wheelchair. I mean, it's horrible.
No, I'm so sorry, Heather. Nobody should ever have to go through that much pain in their life. Except for my ex. No, just kidding.
Wow. Which one that is?
Yeah.
An Iron Sheik promo coming right now.
Well, before we get started, I want to give a shout out to Aaron Willis joining us on the X Space. Thanks, Aaron. But it's definitely been an interesting couple of weeks of wrestling. I've been trying to watch as much as I can. Unfortunately, I've been in and out during the last couple of weeks. So first, I want to give a really huge shout out for Carlos trying to hold up the program for the last couple of weeks. Thank you, brother, for taking charge and throwing in some of those space shows, even though one of them didn't seem like you very well on Wednesday.
Oh my gosh.
I tried to go back and listen to that, and I'm sure it was different on your end, but I was listening to you trying to talk to other people, and it just sounded like you were talking to yourself. So it was a little weird.
But no, because a Stampede, he kept getting kicked out and kicked back in. So I sit there waiting for him to talk, and he get kicked back out again. So I gotta just learn. I might quit focusing on who's in the room and just talk. And if they raise their hand, they raise their hand.
Hey, Carlos. Remember today's date. John started the show with a compliment to you. Just want to say.
I know, my God, about fucking time. I mean, I think the world's gonna end. I'm looking for the zombies as I'm walking right now.
Hey, you know what? I always compliment you guys, just not right away, but
I was gonna talk shit when we were number 2 on Good Pause. I'm like, oh look, John takes 2 weeks off, and look what happens.
It's not that
See,
I wanted to
you'll
take
do
2 weeks
kindness.
off. I just needed to take 2 weeks
Well,
off.
I'm just saying, you take time off, and we go up in the ratings. I'm just saying.
Well, okay. I'll just leave you. Matt Carlos can take over right now. William and I are out of here. You all have fun.
No. Oh, no, I still need you to upload and do all the back end work, please. Thank you.
Hey guys, welcome everybody to the Carlos Fans Insight podcast.
I got some fishing we can go do. Yeah,
What did he just say? I do the back end stuff.
yeah he did.
Make
Yeah.
make it a quail, like on X. Make it a quail, like what did someone did to me yesterday? Like when I put that, I ripped the Taco Bell post. I ripped 3 generations. And they go, make it a quail. I'm like, oh my god, that's funny.
Anyways, yeah, we're gonna leave that on the bad note now. Carlos.
Yeah, right.
So,
And we lost our one viewer. Thank you.
speaking of bad notes, let's get to our first topic for the day because this is the one that kind of outraged some spark amongst the IWC, and it kind of made me laugh.
Wait,
Well,
outrage in the IWC? That's not those 2 words. I'm talking about.
We only chased a guy off of Heather the other day, so you know.
Oh, I was laughing like you guys are.
Oh, I was totally all over the guy's case, and he eventually finally blocked me after I kept throwing it at him. It's like
Your gift game when it comes to that is on point. I died. I was looking through like
oh, man. Yeah. Here's the thing. This, even though me and Carlos, we give each other shit, and Brian will sometimes throw in a punch here and there, and Heather will send Sergeant Slaughter on my ass. If anybody who comes at my team, I'm full force on your ass. You better watch it because I am very relentless. And one person found out real quick. So yeah, I mean,
I appreciate you for that.
yeah, just be forewarned. I am an asshole when I have to be. So I don't always take Carlos's shit, but I'll smack him every once in a while too. So, but anyways,
But then he realizes I like it and he stopped.
Yeah. So you
yeah, see, here we go. Speaking of which, speaking of getting down and dirty, this is one that I really want to get your take on, Will, because you're the biggest NXT fan out of all of us. 2 fucking low blows in a women's match. First off, I have to say, I thought this was brilliant because we've never seen this in a women's match.
No, I absolutely fucking loved this moment. Okay. First of all, like you said, we really haven't seen it happen. They brought it in. It's one of those slaps in the face saying, hey, you know what? Just because we're the women's division does not mean we can't do the same thing. On top of that, the way that they portrayed their expressions when they did it was absolutely entertaining.
Well, it was spot on. I
Yeah.
mean, and this was something that was made by a female fan who did a quote tweet from one of the big IWC accounts on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to throw his name out there because I don't feel like bashing him because I respect his takes and everything. But, you know, they made the comment, a low blow in a women's match. And, you know, the women came after him and said, hey, it hurts us just as much as it hurts you.
Yeah, I got that understanding very early in life. I believe it was grade school when they let me know, yeah, it hurts us just as bad.
Yeah.
So,
well, kind of interesting because we have Heather here today. Heather, did you watch NXT this week?
No, I'm sorry, I didn't.
Okay, but now we have to get your take on this because this happened during the Gigi Dolan and
Ariana Grace.
Yeah, Ariana Grace match.
Oh, so now I get the reference that Gigi was making on her that she tweeted about. So now I get what she was talking about.
Yeah, so what had happened was Ariana Grace threw a low blow where the ref wasn't watching, but Gigi Dolan returned the favor, but the ref caught her. And so it was so hilarious to kind of watch that finish on video. But first off, shout out to Ted, the Hillbilly Hill. He's sending his prayers to you, Heather.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ted, for always being one of our biggest supporters out there. And if you haven't listened to his shorts on the audio platforms, Ted's Takes on Wrestling, be sure to go check out his YouTube video as well. He does a lot of great content there on his YouTube channel. So Ted says, my wife made me watch Orange is the New Black, and it does work.
Oh God.
Yes, it does.
That's a good show. But no, see, Gigi said, I smashed your roast beef into a smash burger. And I was like, what the fuck is she talking about?
So now I have to, now after hearing all this, I have to get your take on this. When you see a finish like this, what's your thoughts?
I think it's kind of dumb, but I mean, it's effective, so it does hurt. So,
well, we're not going to ask you how you know, so we'll just.
I want to know how William. I want to know how William knows. Is my question. I mean,
Well, William might have got a little rowdy in his childhood.
I'm like, good
A
lord.
little bit. A little bit.
What was your recess time like? Jesus.
Hey man, I was a really small kid up until junior high, so I got picked on. I had to fight back.
But Carlos, let's get your thoughts
My
on that.
God. I mean, it's to me like this, especially with NXT. Like the thing is, like that's the place to try new things. So and it does hurt, and that's the thing people need to realize. Like I have, again, being a gay guy, I have lots of girlfriends, and they tell me, yeah, don't. It's like it hurts, you know. And the girl will punch you, just like if you punch a girl in the boob, it hurts too. Don't try it, William. But
You're way too late.
but no, yeah, I think it's something different. I mean, why not try it, you know? And again, it gets people talking, and I think if you're a smart wrestler and you're on social media, like you know, you're trolling people to get engagement. That's only gonna get you out there more. So, no matter what, it's a win-win situation for them.
Now that we had a little more elaborated from Carlos, Brian, do I dare get your take?
Why not? So ultimately, I'm going to say kind of what Carlos narrated as far as it gets people talking, right? And as you guys know, NXT, I mean, I check in on it time to time. It's the booty call NXT, right? So, you know, it gets you talking about it. And then you say, well, what was that? And you go in. But more importantly, in the modern era, it's not just talking about it, but it's also having the talent like Gigi being able to tweet about it and being able to build on something that people are talking on. So I think that's a good all around. And, you know, I think it was great that they kind of went that route. And if it doesn't work out, who cares? It's a smaller audience. You know, you didn't try it on USA Network on a big platform where somebody might have an issue with it.
Wait a minute, isn't NXT on USA
Well,
Network?
yeah, but
But
I
like
mean,
the A show. He means like the A show.
Oh, okay.
like with the big platforms where, you know, they're going to more likely watch that and say, no, I didn't like the way you did that. You know, where I feel like sometimes NXT is kind of there to just fill some airtime for them as far as the network.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what more to say on this, but I thought it was a very brilliant. It was probably good. Definitely, like Brian mentioned, you wouldn't put it on your A show, but it kind of gives the women division some new things to play with.
Yeah, as long as they continue to move along, be inventive, bring new things in, and not be afraid to try them. What could be the downfall to trying to make a difference versus doing the same old shit and failing?
Yeah. Well, and the other thing is you know, it brings name recognition to somebody like a Gigi Dolan, right? So when she goes on to the main roster, people are going to say, well, I've heard of her. And they're going to try to remember why, you know, because there's the internet that's been talking about her because of reasons like this, both of them actually. So it's kind of, I think it helps future promotion even just with getting the name out there.
And we also have Aaron Willis, who's hit the request for the mic. Hey, Aaron, how's it going today?
Hello there. Is my mic on there?
Say that again.
Is my mic on there? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, that's good. I'm doing good. How are you all doing?
Good.
Doing really good. Hey, thank you for the shout out on Twitter. Appreciate it. Happy St. Patty's Day.
Oh, happy St. Patrick's Day to all of you. So hope you are doing well. I hope you're all dressed up in green today.
Well, I'm not quite green, but we know Carlos has been rolling in some green.
Money.
All right. What about each other?
I'm trying to get pinched, so I'm not wearing green. So
Okay.
Well, there's a shock.
I try to stick the left nipple in their face, see when they're pinching me, like that one.
Andrew.
Okay. Anyway, Mr. Green Man Carlos, how are you today?
I'm good, man. Happy St. Patty's Day. Sounds like your holiday. If I'm listening, right? I forgot the accent right.
Because sure. Listen, anyway, it's happening anyway because we're supposed to celebrate it anyway. It's all about good things on St. Patrick's Day.
Host.
Sorry.
What was that?
Sorry.
I had a weeder going off in the back of my background. Sorry.
Yeah, all that wind getting through from Carlos. Sorry, say that again, Aaron.
Sorry. You know what? It's all about good vibes on St. Patrick's Day, you know, because it's an Irish thing, you know.
Oh yes, most definitely. Yeah.
All right.
So, how do you guys typically celebrate it there?
Oh, we have parades on in every single town where you can get it over here, and hopefully it doesn't rain.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of
Which in some towns it did.
that's kind of what we were trying to avoid the last couple of days where we're at. So
Well, most definitely.
All right. You know, I watched the Ariana Grace Gigi Dolan match. I think it was this morning on TV, and you know what? It was hilarious. You know, it was actually a bit of a laugh the way it turned out with the whole low blow thing.
Yeah, I mean that's just something you would have never thought of in a women's match. Am I right?
Exactly. Yeah, and you know, it's just, yeah, it's. I felt it was very hilarious. It's a bit of comedy.
A bit of comedy, but kind of brings you to realization that it doesn't matter if you're man or woman. It hurts like hell if it's really done.
It
You know?
listen, it does hurt, yeah, but yeah, it really does hurt. So I think it's good that they got the disqualification there, but I just wish the ref could have seen the first one instead of the second one. You know, if he had seen both, I wonder could they have both got disqualified?
Probably, if he let it go, that I would think that would be the take on it. But you know, I've seen some interesting things over the years that things just get let go.
yeah.
Okay.
So
All right.
but,
All right.
but-
Yeah, I think that's all I have to say about that in terms of wrestling and all that stuff. Because that was the only thing that caught my eye this week.
yeah, I mean, it definitely caught some eyes for sure. I think it was a pretty hot topic Tuesday night. That's all I could see my timelines filled with. I'm like, holy Moses. So
Yeah.
in fact, I think that would probably been the biggest highlight for NXT this week.
It almost was mine, except for it caused me to choke on my dinner. So
Yeah, right.
Now,
That's
Heather,
what she said.
yeah. Now, Heather, when you were getting in your fights there at Walmart, did you happen to partake in this?
No, I didn't do that.
She's fighting. She's in a fight for the last beads for St. Patrick's Day. and I'm choking somebody out with them.
Yeah, she'll show before beef there.
Listen, Heather, how are you today?
I'm all right.
Oh, that's good. How are you feeling today with your legs, with your health issues and all that stuff? How are you?
About the same. Sitting in this chair, legs propped up. Same place I'm always am.
Oh, jeez. I'm just wondering, when are you ever going to get out of this mess?
I don't know. I'm waiting to talk to the neurosurgeon again so she can go over the test results and tell me where we're going to go from here.
Okay. Oh, listen. I just hope for all of us that you'll feel better soon, and hopefully you'll be able to walk again. Because I heard that you're in a wheelchair.
Yeah, I have to use it pretty much to get around, like especially if I'm going far distances or anything. I can walk a little bit, but it's more like a shuffle than anything, and it hurts a lot. So
A bit of a shuffle, no, a bit like Irish dancing. Oh, jeez. All right. Listen, thanks very much for having me on the space. I know you are looking to get started on this show anyway. Listen, thanks very much.
No, thank you for joining us, and feel free to stick around, and we'll come to you on our other topics as we go a little further here.
All right then. Listen. Thanks very much for having me on.
No, thank you, Aaron. Again, appreciate the shout out, and happy St. Patrick's Day on your side of the world there.
All right, same to you too.
Well, as we continue on here, we're going to get a little more into the road to WrestleMania. I know we've been talking about each week up until we actually hit the weekend of WrestleMania, some of the undercard matches that we projected a little earlier. I noticed a couple of mine coming to light, and I can't talk. I had a feeling it was going to end up being AJ Styles and LA Knight, and that's what it looks like we're getting. But I would like to see it be a little more gimmick match. I would like to see these guys go to a no disqualification match. What's your thoughts on that, Will?
I would either want to go there or go the Edge direction with the I Quit match.
Oh, it like the actual match, or kind of like
the actual match?
Okay. Carlos, what's your thoughts?
I mean, my real thoughts is I wish they were in the match for the U.S. title, if I'm being honest. But again, it's I don't know. I mean, AJ deserves to be in WrestleMania. I don't know. I just feel like LA Knight. Again, we'll talk about it when the question I talked about Brock Fair. But I just feel like LA Knight's lost a little bit of his just even when he came out, I didn't really feel the crowd was giving him all that much energy. Again, I hope it pays off. I hope LA Knight's getting a good WrestleMania moment because he deserves it.
Brian?
Yeah, so like you guys were saying, we're on the road to WrestleMania. And overall, it's weird because it's like it takes a detour, right? And then you go on your detour, and then all of a sudden your road navigation says recalculating. I feel like, we talked about that a little bit of how it seems like we're recalculating a lot of stuff right now to get to Mania. With this match in particular, I'm glad to see LA Knight get a match against AJ Styles because there were no other main eventers available to, get LA Knight into something with. And so when they went the route of AJ, I was glad to see it. And I was like, you know what? That makes sense because that gives him a WrestleMania main event opponent with a guy that has been a world champion. And now all of a sudden we start looking at LA Knight as a guy that can be like an AJ Styles and a guy that can be like some of these other main eventers. So I hope he does get a nice win over AJ at Mania. And correct me if I'm wrong, kind of keep me honest here. I believe this is going to be LA Knight's first WrestleMania. Am I correct in that?
I believe so, because they didn't really have anything for him last year, which was a bummer. So
and that's what I remember too. And if he wasn't something last year, it wasn't memorable for me.
In fact, I don't know if he was LA Knight last WrestleMania quite yet. I think he was.
Was he in the Andre Battle Royal?
On SmackDown, maybe.
Yeah, he was LA Knight because he fought Bray Wyatt at Royal Rumble.
He did fight Bray Wyatt in the Mountain Dew match. Yes.
Yeah, and he was LA Knight.
Okay,
yep.
Who won the Andre Giant Battle Royal? It wasn't LA Knight last year.
It was Bobby Lashley.
Because remember last year he was supposed to fight Bray, then he got sick.
Yeah, and then it ended up being Omos against Brock Lesnar. Sorry. Sorry, Heather.
Omos.
No, because
let the triggering begin.
because LA Knight ended up winning the Battle Royal at one of the other
So at SummerSlam.
SummerSlam, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was really when people started taking notice of him. And so, I mean, it's his first WrestleMania, and he's getting to go in there with a world champion caliber opponent. So I'm all about this, especially with it being his first one.
Yes. So, yeah, this will be his first actual WrestleMania. So next, want to bring up the. Unfortunately, this was the match that Carlos wanted. It is a ladder match, but it's for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship. I don't mind this, but I really wish they would separate the championships by now. But apparently, it doesn't look like that's the direction they're going to go unless somehow they find a way to fit it storyline wise leading up to the event.
The only way I see it happening is if two different, teams end up winning at the same time.
That would be really hard, though.
Yeah.
Or maybe they could find a way to make it where a couple of guys got the red belts and a couple of guys got the blue belts. It's going to be, I think it's kind of weird. In my honest opinion, if you're not going to split the belts, just make them one goddamn belt like they did with the undisputed Universal Championship. Just make it one set of tag team championships and use that as the exempt rule to defend them on both Raw and SmackDown or even NXT. So, Carlos, I know this will probably make you a wallop, but what's your thoughts on this match so far?
I don't like it at all because they also they changed course because originally it was supposed to be like whoever was in the matches were going to be in the match, and now they're qualifiers and now you have to fight again to get into the match. It just shows again they should have more of a plan going into WrestleMania. And it just feels like they don't. And honestly, I was really excited for Triple H's first WrestleMania, and he's been kind of letting me down. So, I mean, I'm excited more guys are going to get to be on the show, but in that kind of way, it should be an Andre the Giant Battle Royal, and we should be hearing guys who have been getting pushes talking about how they're going to win that. I'm not a fan, but like you said too, I'd rather see separate champions or give me 6-man titles too.
Brian?
Yeah, this would make a lot of sense for them to split up those titles if they wanted to go that route. I've heard, the ideas of a couple guys falling down with different belts and, what do we do? Right. There's a reason they haven't made one championship like you guys alluded to. And so it's interesting. I honestly would like to see them keep them and just keep them unified, get them new belts. I just don't know if there's enough teams, bona fide teams, to actually make two divisions happen with two sets of tag titles on the WWE brand. And when I say bona fide teams, I mean, not the throw together teams that I just loathe, like, we're going to throw Mankind together with LA Knight, or something weird. But,
I think there's enough teams, in my opinion,
to support two full divisions on two separate shows.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. I think it would get stale, and I think there would be a lot of rematches. And so I them changing shows.
Well, here's something I want to throw out. I think really with the way they're building factions up lately in WWE, I almost would like to see just one set of tag team championships and then go with a 6-man tag championship division.
Like a trios?
Like I just said?
Well, I mean, I didn't hear that you said unify the championships as one, but no, that's.
I said keep the 6. That's what I say. Keep them as one or make 6-man titles, one or the other.
Sorry. I kind of got a little sidetracked, but no, I agree with your thought there as well, Carlos. I mean, as much as the factions are building up lately, I don't see a reason why they couldn't have one. But again, I will say the challenging part is keeping a division like that very relevant. And unfortunately, every promotion I see try to give it a run has not had much luck with it. And we're talking like even in the NWA Jim Crockett promotion days, WCW tried to go with it and didn't work. AEW started okay with it, but now it's lost its spark. So if WWE can launch it and keep it going, then finally somebody's found a good recipe for it. But Heather, what's your thoughts on the ladder match for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships?
I don't know. I don't like the idea of it. I just think it's a big mess, and I've been thinking that they need to separate the titles and let Raw have their titles and let SmackDown have their titles. But y'all said that y'all didn't think there was enough tag teams to keep it going, but I think there is. But I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I don't know anything, but I don't know. But that's how I feel. I think the titles need to be separated. And I think the match is dumb.
Okay, so what would your thoughts be if they were to just keep the tag team championship, only one set of tag team championships, and then go, 6-man or a trios tag division? Would you be all for that?
Yeah, I could see that happening. Because they got the different factions and stuff. I could see that working too.
The thing about that too that I like is that it polices them to keep a faction together instead of trying to split them up too.
Yeah. That's my only thing I worry about is they seem to like get these factions all built up, and then like in just a matter of like few months they just split them up right away, where I think they really dropped the ball in doing that too early to all these groups. So I think lately with Judgment Day, that's been a pretty good one. And what the Final Testament, I think they are very strong contenders for that. Same with
Imperium,
Bobby Lashley's group, Imperium, and who knows?
DIY, add Dexter Loomis to him.
Problem is they just really haven't used Dexter Loomis, though, is the problem. But I also understand he's been doing TV or something. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's doing a comedy, the Fireman Show, or something like that. I heard.
Yeah, I think I remember listening to that on one of your spaces last week. So, but yeah, if they can get Dexter Loomis, yeah, DIY would have a good faction in there. I mean, there's a few. There's enough support right there. There's no reason why they can't get the thing going. And it looks like we lost Carlos again, poor monkey. But quit laughing.
No, I'm just laughing about that comedy that Loomis is in.
Oh, because
Tacoma FD. Yeah, I've watched quite a bit of it. So,
oh, hey, you guys stand still this time.
That's what I get for multitasking. I can't chew gum and walk at the same time.
That's what you get for picking on me too. So eat that. Anyways, but the United States Championship now is a 3-way, and this is the one that was kind of out of thought here for me. It's a triple threat with Logan Paul, Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton, and I'm just like, oh,
no, they should have stuck with a singles match on this.
I thought so, but well, Carlos was pitching for a ladder match, and I would have agreed with him on that one. Let's start with Brian, though, because I want to save the best one for last year on this.
Oh, I think they should do a Prime Energy on a pole match. Because Logan Paul and his Prime Energy and taking over the logo. And,
you have to climb a big Prime bottle to reach that one too.
Yes, a big Prime bottle to reach the title. I like it. So, I feel like this match, just triple threat, is awkward, is the word I'm going to use. I feel like there is a lot of focus on Prime Energy and, let's see how we can help Logan co-promote. And don't get me wrong, Logan Paul will do something good in the match. He'll have a cool moment. And I trust Kevin Owens and Randy Orton to do good work. But a triple threat match, I feel like it's forced and a little awkward. And it's kind of like a weird blind date that you get set up on. And then you're like, oh, okay, well, let's go to eat and figure out let's go do mini golf and you don't really have a plan. And I don't know what the plan is here for this. So that's kind of my overall take. I do feel like it should have been a one-on-one match. I do like Logan Paul as champion, but I just feel like it needs to be used in a different light.
I think they should just slam KSI through a flaming table too while they're at it. Just because. But Heather, what's your thoughts on this triple threat match?
I dumb. I think it's dumb. You've already had Logan Paul versus Kevin Owens. Why can't it just be Logan Paul versus Randy Orton? I mean, why can't that happen? And why can't Randy Orton just take the damn title off of Logan Paul? Because Logan Paul is stupid and he needs to go the hell away.
Well, I think we'll let the monkey here kind of debate that one. So,
But I mean, seriously though, why can't it just be Logan Paul versus Randy Orton? I mean, because we've already had the Logan Paul versus Kevin Owens. Why can't it just be that one-on-one match?
no, I get it. I mean, for me, a rematch between Kevin Owens and Logan Paul, I kind of understand that because of how the match ended at the Royal Rumble.
Well, yeah.
Or was it? Sorry, it wasn't. Yeah, it was Royal Rumble.
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, so far they've had 2 matches. It's been indefinitive.
Yeah, to me,
So it would be a rubber match, but that would work as a singles match, not a triple threat.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, it makes no sense to have Randy Orton in a mid-card championship match.
No, you should be going for the.
I'm with Carlos, even though I always said Cena should have been the one. But I'm with Carlos. If you're going to have Randy Orton win a championship, it should be for the World Heavyweight Championship or Roman's Championship.
Yep.
So,
Well, yeah, true.
To add on to that, I feel like they just don't have any plans for Randy right now, because I feel like they're waiting for a future Cody feud, and I just feel like it's like, well, what do we do with Randy until then? And I can't shake that feeling.
and that could be too. I just don't. Yeah, for me, I'm not saying Randy's beneath the mid-card titles, but at this point in his career, I just don't want to see that on him. But Carlos, let's get your thoughts, because I know you want to go off on this.
Yeah. So to me, if this was my WrestleMania, just again a question we'll ask later on. You had Randy Orton coming back from what we thought was a career injury. We didn't have him for 18 months. Fans were so excited when he came back. Like, the pop was amazing. Like, he was on such a good thing. If it was my WrestleMania, we'd be seeing Randy Orton, the undisputed WWE Universal Champion, defending his title against Cody Rhodes on night 1, and then it would be Roman versus Rock for the head of the table night 2. And that's just what it feels. All this just doesn't feel right to me. It just feels like, again, so Randy had good momentum coming back. He was being champion, because we didn't know if we were ever going to see Randy in the ring again. Fans were like getting teary-eyed seeing him come back. I was in tears, and that's all been lost now, and it just doesn't feel right. I love Logan Paul. I don't think you should be booking him as a chicken shit heel, because it delegitimizes what he brings to the brand. He doesn't need to cheat to win. He's that good. And again, for me, if you were going to do this match, it should be a ladder match with LA Knight getting his WrestleMania moment. And again, Grayson Waller and Austin Theory should be in the mix too, because they've been feuding with these guys for months. This should be a blow off for all this stuff.
All right, let's go.
And that's the bottom line.
Yeah, let's go to the Rock's Friday night concert. I have to say it was very entertaining, but I think Rock was almost boggling because he was trying not to laugh during his whole time on that segment. Heather, did you watch the concert?
I really didn't pay attention to the whole thing, but I like how he kept talking about Cody's mom. That's very disrespectful, but I know it's just part of his gimmick. But he loved talking about Cody's mom.
Carlos?
So here's my thing: are we trying to make fans hate Cody now? It's like, to me, the fans are cheering the Rock. Here's my biggest thing, and again, for fans that don't know this, I'm very plugged into the wrestling scene. I'm watching podcasts, I'm reading the sheets. Cody Rhodes was there doing the dark match. And that's the thing. Cody they haven't really had a lot of talking face wise, because all it's been right now is The Rock comes out, gets goosebumps, he takes up too much time, and they got to cut everything short. I would have loved to have seen Cody Rhodes out there personally, and them just going back at each other on the mic. That's what I would have liked to see instead of this Rock concert.
Brian?
I did like the Rock concert. I liked it for the casual fans that do come around for WrestleMania season, because we watch the product all year round. Right, we're very invested, and I do have a lot of friends that do just kind of come around for Mania season, and they're those late 90s fans, right? That the Attitude Era fans. And so them seeing that brought back good memories for them. And I do think The Rock did a pretty good job building, the feud, even without Roman there. I also do think that The Rock a little overstayed the welcome in that. I think the segment could have been shortened up. But my favorite part of the segment was the fans telling The Rock it's time to end the concert. And the way they did it was very unique with a whoop that trick chant. And that would have been about a nice time for him to wrap things up. But I love the fact that Trick Williams was getting a chant under a Rock segment. And, we haven't even seen Trick.
That's their basketball team's chant, though, too. In that area.
Oh, is it? Okay. Because,
yeah.
Well,
you don't give too much credit to Trick Williams, but no, that's their NBA team's chant.
Okay. Because I was sitting there and I was like, dang, Trick Williams is getting some street cred here on the main roster. And, I was loving that part of it. But I love the fact that I felt like the fans were telling him, okay, time to wrap up the segment. We enjoyed it, but don't overstay your welcome. It's time to go home. Everybody's already drunk and Ubered home. So, you can't stay on the couch kind of thing.
Now, wait a minute. You calling the Tennessee fans a bunch of drunks?
Yes, I am.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
I'm saying the Tennessee fans know how to have a good time.
It's St. Patrick's Day every day there.
But yeah, I do feel like the segment served the purpose to allow the people that come around for Mania season. I will say I did enjoy it.
I am a little disappointed, though. He calls us Utahns a bunch of inbreds, but what the hell? It says nothing to Tennessee, but praises them.
That's true.
Oh, there went Carlos again.
I learned something in that segment, too. I didn't know that The Rock went by Flash something. What was that name? Flash Flanagan or something like that? I was like,
Flash Flex.
Yeah,
Flash Flex. That was new for me, guys. It was like interesting.
Yeah. So, I know this was a very hot one that Carlos wanted to get on the show today, but how does Roman Reigns fare if Cody finishes his story at WrestleMania? Why don't we go ahead and start with you on this one, Brian? Because I know you have a lot of great in-depth on this one.
All right. Yeah. So I like lengthy championships. And I feel like the Roman Reigns championship has been really good. And again, I think you guys also know that I wanted this to end last year, right? I wanted Cody to get that. And I never think I was going to be bought back into another Cody Mania story, but here we are, WrestleMania 40. I think it's interesting how they're going about it. I do think that, Roman has been built up, and I know they give this final boss thing to The Rock, but I really always said this, like Roman Reigns is the ultimate final boss for Cody Rhodes. I feel like that is Cody finishing his story. It's interesting that they're going to do the tag match to set up night 2. Not the route I would have went with, but I feel like they're trying to tap into WrestleMania 1. And I feel like they're trying to do a tag main event, 40 years of WrestleMania. And I feel like they're just trying to be a little nostalgic there. I think I agree with Carlos, keep me honest, but I think I agree with the point. I think it should have been Roman and Rock night 1, and then maybe Cody and Roman night 2. And I would like to see Roman have 2 main event nights in which he has a reason to say, well, I lost. He goes away for a while, 8 months or so, even more. And then he comes back and says, the only reason I lost that title is because I had to fight in 2 high-pressure main events in the same night, and nobody's ever done that in the history of WrestleMania. So I think that would have fared well, while they could have built Cody up, winning and finishing his story, and then moved him on to be the face of the company in the modern-day John Cena, so to speak. So that's kind of my overall.
Will, let's get your thoughts on that.
I really wasn't into the bloodline thing pretty much the majority of the time. I think that it honestly went on a little too long. And so it's kind of iffy as to what the future holds for Roman. I do think he deserves some time off. Really, it kind of depends on where he wants to go with his career. I wouldn't mind seeing him do some more acting.
All right. Heather,
oh boy.
Yeah, this is adding fuel to the fire here for today. But Heather, how do you think Roman fares if Cody does finish his story?
Hopefully he'll go and crawl under a rock and never come back.
Okay. Did you want to detail it or no?
Nah, I mean, he hardly wrestles anyway. He stays gone for long periods of time, so he won't be missed. So yeah.
All right. Carlos?
So just are we tying in my other question to this? Or are we doing this out? Are we doing that after this?
We're gonna tie it in with this.
Okay, so before this podcast started, hold on. I brought up a question to the group, and I was like, I wanted to get them all to think, is this really worth it? And what I mean by that is, I was thinking back, has all this been worth it for Roman? What I mean by that is, I was thinking, like, if they would have never unified the titles at WrestleMania 38, we could easily be seeing, Rock versus Roman for the Universal title, on night 1 or night 2, and we, for example, could be seeing Cody versus, Randy Orton for the WWE title on night 2. Cody couldn't finish the story last year because, again, the title Cody wants is the WWE title, not the Universal title. And so it just kind of got me thinking. It's just all these things, like from anything from LA Knight's push to Cody not finishing the story to, Sammy not winning. Like, there's so much stuff that's been put on hold for Roman Reigns' title reign. And for me, it's like, I just think, like, it's important now. But, I think 3-4 years from now, the narrative is going to change for WWE. And it's going to be like a nice accomplishment. But it's not going to be what the product is going to be centered around, in my opinion. So with that said, and that's the thing too, like with the whole Rock thing right now, you can just tell by the way, like, the Rock's in town this week, like the appearances that he has at WWE were set up for him versus Roman, so just, again, they're pivoting nicely, but it just, to me, it just all seems out of place. And so for me, it's just, I think Roman's going to be fine. And to me, it should have been the head of the table. Like, even, they should be fine. He'll be fine. And, at the end of the day, but I just feel like it's all going to be for nothing. Cause I feel like too much has been sacrificed for this title right now. I just want to get your guys' thoughts on that.
I'll go first on this one.
Go.
I don't think you should divide the championships with Roman. Reason being is because
what if they were never unified in the first place? That's my question.
If they were never unified, I can understand that. Unfortunately, that is the direction they went, and if you were to try to do it now, then you have three world titles on the tier there.
Well, my point is, like, but again, they did that to make Roman look stronger. But in the end, is it really accomplishing anything? That's kind of like my whole point. Like, if they would have never done that anyways, we'd be getting Rock. We'd be getting Rock and Roman easily for night 2 WrestleMania.
But the problem is they've already made it look relevant because they've made Roman the top dog for the last 3.5 years. And sorry, I know people will really hate me for this. Unifying the titles was the right move, but the problem was, if you didn't unify it as one title, then yeah, you should have had them lose in 2 different matches, drop one to The Rock and drop one to Cody, if they didn't make the World Heavyweight Championship. However, they already went the direction, so if they even try to do it now, then you really kind of take away the purpose of making it one unified title. So yeah, I if they would have stuck with that route, not have the World Heavyweight Championship, that would have been fine. But right now, it wouldn't make sense. Will?
Yeah. So as far as what Carlos was saying about has too much been sacrificed, the answer to that out of me is yes. I think there was a lot of missed opportunities because of this strong title run. Like John said, it might have been better had they not gone this direction. Unfortunately, they did, and it did cost a lot of people, the story. So, and I think he could have looked just as strong just holding one title.
Well, yeah, he could have made the Universal Championship be still the title.
Yeah,
which it was.
So, I don't think either way that Roman really gained anything extra out of it.
Yeah, he didn't really gain anything, but the title unification did make him a bit stronger, though. Kind of like Thanos in God damn it.
The Avengers.
Thank you. I was about to say DC's, but no. I was a little off.
Wow, you're about to upset a whole entire
Yeah.
different crowd.
Yeah, Comic
Let's
Con.
get another group after us. Sweet.
Yeah. Well, why not? I can get them to block me too. So.
No, I feel where Carlos is going with this, and I kind of agree with him. So,
Well, let's get Brian's thoughts.
Yeah, I believe that there was a lot sacrificed, right? I will say there was a lot sacrificed to give Roman this. But I do believe in the end game. I'll keep the Avengers theme going here. I believe in the end game. I believe that Roman winning and unifying in those titles against Brock Lesnar gave him a chance to stomp his greatest rival in the ground once and for all, right? And I do believe that Brock Lesnar is one of Roman Reigns' greatest rivals and a very dominant one. So he was able to put him away, establish supreme dominance, and whoever beats Roman is an instant made hero of the WWE. And it's been a long time since we've had a big hero in the WWE. And I do believe that Cody should be that guy. I wouldn't even be surprised if other locker room guys came out to help Cody because they want a hero. They want somebody that they can follow into the new era of the WWE. So I do believe there is a lot sacrificed, but I do believe in the long end game that there should be a reward for that.
Heather, do I dare ask?
I don't think he needed both titles. I think he was good with one, and didn't need a new title. And like I said, he needs to go away. And I'm sorry, I'm getting tired, so I'm not got much to say.
No, you're good. So I normally would like to try to get an AEW segment in, but we're going to be getting a little pressed for time. So, so far, overall thoughts on the build to WrestleMania as of now. Will, what's your thoughts?
I think they're at about 50% of where they should be at. It's been slightly wonky. They've taken some odd turns. Hopefully they can recover from some of the confusion and really just build a beautiful show.
All right, Brian.
Yeah, it was kind of like I was saying earlier. We're on the road to detour of WrestleMania, and it's recalculating, and our navigators recalculating, and we're hoping to get past the construction that's happening, and let's get back on the highway and let's wrap this thing up. And I feel like they're going to kick up the gear here in the next couple of weeks because it's almost like they have to. It's always that weird, awkward season between Rumble and Mania, and they even struggle to get past No Way Out, right? And it's just, or Elimination Chamber. I used to call it No Way Out, right? But they just always kind of slow down and then they speed up. And I'm hoping they speed up and get it back right where it needs to be. And I trust that they will. They've done this for a long time.
Heather, do you have any thoughts on the road to WrestleMania so far?
It's just really kind of dragging for me, and it's just all the matches, that we're having right now. You can tell it's just they're throwing stuff together because they're waiting on WrestleMania, and that's just it's just boring right now because throwing stuff together. But hopefully it'll pick up and I'll be more excited for it because right now I'm not really that much excited as I would be, but hopefully it'll pick up soon.
And Carlos, your thoughts for the road to WrestleMania thus far?
I think it's slacking. I feel like there should have been more matches announced already. Like I said, I'm just really disappointed with it. Again, it just feels like they didn't have as much of a plan as I thought they did. And again, I was hoping for more. Again, I just wish we had more of the card already on where we were just getting more build up to it. It just it feels. They have so long to build this. They should have done a better job with it.
Yeah, I'm kind of 50-50 on it. I do think they're building it up to be a good event here in 3 weeks. I'm kind of with Carlos. I would like to see more matches, but I think the big problem with this entire PLE event is just the heavy focus on the bloodline, Cody, Seth, The Rock. Where's it going to lead after night 1 going into night 2? I know we're going to get a little more into our predictions here over the next couple of weeks. So keep joining us for in the X Space during the week and back here live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and X Space app as well. Yeah, like Heather's mentioned, I feel it's dragging. Brian and I've mentioned off air, it seems like it's going a little slow, but sometimes going slow may not be a bad thing. But if you go too slow, then you're going to have people kind of lose interest. But I'm right there with Carlos. I wish more of the matches were announced right now so that the talent kind of has a good way to build their stories up when it gets to that event.
And if I could just really quick too, like I feel like people were saying, well, like about the whole thing, like should it have been Sammy or should it have been Chad Gable? Well, like yeah, Sammy was the main event of Night 1 WrestleMania last year. He deserves to be on WrestleMania, but he should have he should be built. It should have been someone else because Sammy doesn't need the Intercontinental. He's already had that moment. Like to me, that should have been Chad Gable's moment. Sammy should have a program with somebody else that should have been brewing for a couple months to have the payoff for WrestleMania. They could have just done a better job too, like building up the mid card to have more matches like a LA Knight versus AJ Styles kind of thing. You know, matches that feel like they matter that you want to see.
Well, I think we're going to end up seeing something for Chad Gable too here after the whole point out that his shoulders were technically not pinned. I just worry though, 2 triple threat matches for 2 mid card titles might be a little bit much for the PLE event. What about your thoughts on that, Carlos?
I mean, I kind of agree too, but at the same time, if they're Night 1 or Night 2, I mean, I was on my Space Monday talking about how I would bring back Money in the Bank matches to WrestleMania, so I can't sit there and be a hypocrite about it. I think it's fine because it's on 2 different nights. But again, for me, it just to me, I feel like Sammy should be having a different story than this. But again, they had to pivot a lot too. Like that's the thing you got to remember. It was probably supposed to be Sam. It was probably supposed to be Sammy versus Drew at Mania with CM Punk fighting Roman Rollins, and again Gunther was supposed to be fighting Brock Lesnar. And that's just the thing. It's like the pivots again for a wrestling fan that isn't as tuned as we are, just a casual fan. I think it feels wrong too. It's just the pivot seemed too obvious, and they shouldn't feel like that. They could have done a better job building stories for all these guys. Different.
Do you have any final thoughts on that, Brian?
No. It's interesting because at this point I almost wonder if they're going to have Gunther keep his title, even though because they're kind of throwing opponents at him that he should beat, but it could go either way, right? And so I also think that this year's main events are almost like a repeat of last year's. You got your tag match on Night 1, and then you got your Cody and Roman again. And so I hope it feels different on that night, but I know it's almost like we're watching a rerun.
I have a quick question for you guys. Besides, because now we have the 2 main events, if we weren't getting Roman in both nights, do you feel like this card warrants 2 nights of Mania?
No.
Yeah.
And that's the problem right there. Exactly.
Yeah.
The answer for me is no.
I hate 2 night.
Yep.
I hate 2 night PLEs,
anyways,
pay-per-views anyway. Wrestle Kingdom's kind of a different story just because that's New Japan's deal. They're the ones that actually started that. So I kind of feel like that should have stayed as a New Japan type deal.
But that right there says that if you're going to have 2 nights of Mania, make sure that the card in the build-up warrants it. And it just doesn't feel like it warrants it.
Right.
Yeah. I like to call it, we have to think of our shareholders move.
Right.
And it's double advertising. Think about what Triple H talks about on those media scrums. He's like, oh, we set record numbers and we made so much money on advertising. And I know that's with the new merger, that's going to be an important year for them in that sense too. So I know why they're doing it, but
I'm a shareholder and I vote 1 night.
Yeah. But ultimately I do like the 1 night format. It feels more special.
For me, I just don't think we needed this big of a story for the Night 1 going into Night 2.
Nope.
If it was my way, keep the 2 night thing deal, but I think they missed an opportunity to showcase Rhea and Becky for the Night 1 main event.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I feel bad for the women because you got two of the biggest women in the company right now, right there facing each other, and you kind of dropped the ball on them. Sorry.
They completely shanked all attention on it. So
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed, especially with getting Liv Morgan in the picture too. I just you already got enough as is with multi-team and a triple threat match already looking place for the United States Championship. I feel like they kind of went a little too much. And Brian, I have said this many times. Sometimes less is more, and this is one of those examples. I think they should kind of apply that logic to.
Yeah, I was actually debating on driving over to Philadelphia for night one because I thought that'd be a fun weekend trip, and I looked at tickets and everything, and then I'm glad I didn't do that because I seen the main event announced, and I said, "Well, I'm not making that drive," for that. I mean, I thought it was going to be something a little bit, more main event like, and I'm glad I didn't pull the trigger on that. So,
and it's easy too because now they've announced this tag match. And they've only moved like an extra 900 tickets for night one. There's night one still has like I think 2,500 regular general admission tickets, or night two only has like 900.
Yeah.
Wow.
And again, I know for somebody like myself that's in the next state over, right? I don't know. I'm not driving there for a tag match. You know what I mean? So if it was Rock Roman, I would have probably made the run, just to see it. But
all right, we're going to wrap it up here. We're going to get right into our shout outs. I know you don't ever have any, Will, so I'll skip you. Heather, do you have any shout outs to throw?
No, I don't.
Yeah, Brian?
Ted Hillbill Hill, thank you, obviously, for always joining. And again, thank you, Aaron, for joining us earlier, too, and interacting and celebrating St. Patrick's Day. And everybody over on Twitter X, thank you guys very much.
And Pinch Me Carlos.
I just want to give a quick thing for Ted, guys, because if you guys listen to his last episode, he's going to be quitting. He's going to be quitting the podcast form. He's going to just be doing his YouTube takes now. So if you've been a fan of Ted's and you haven't gone on YouTube yet, go there, subscribe, because that's where you'll find him now. Other than that, I always want to give again shout out to everybody who supports me on the X platform. I'm going to shout out my different chat rooms I'm part of. Parlay's Monetized Chat, Sages Up Network, Let's Go Viral, Sports Plug and Chat. Rest in peace, Bozo, the Pet Soup Plungers, just all you guys who come in and support me on those Wednesdays and Mondays. Thank you very much. Appreciate all you guys.
And I'm also going to shout out Saber Bills 92 on the X Space app, as well as Aaron Willis and That Nasty Leroy, who popped in for a few minutes. Thank you for those of you who joined us on X, those of you who watched on Twitch, as well as Facebook, our YouTube channel, and also via our website, thefansofprowrestling.com. Thank you for all of you who tune in there. Also want to give a shout out to all the listeners and to the team. This week I posted on X that we hit our highest ratings on the Good Pods platform. We hit number 2 for the wrestling podcast of the month. So that's our highest ranking so far. Number 3 in the all-time wrestling as well, the indie wrestling. So, or no, that was the weekly wrestling. I think we are number 8 in the all-time indie wrestling. So thank you for everybody who does support us and listens, especially the Saged Up members on the X Space. Also want to give a shout out to my podcast buddies, Fan in the Van, Is This a Bad Take, Two Dudes Sports News, the 1420 Sports Bar Podcast, Steel and Teal Talk, Visit Vegas Places with Coil, Chris and Deb with Today We Laughed and Learned, BC Hunter, who has Wrestling with the 80s on YouTube. And sorry, Heather just came back. And we also have a couple others. Is this the IAP pickle?
Come on.
in a pickle podcast. Sorry, I was having a hard time spitting that out. Also to Nate's Daily Wager Wire, Aaron over at Brutally Honest Sports. Heather, do you have any shout outs you want to throw out there?
No, I don't.
All right. We're gonna wrap it up. Hope each and every one of you have a happy St. Patrick's Day. Please be safe if you do drink. Remember, there's designated drivers all around. Get home safe. Please don't do anything dangerous. Don't pinch anybody too hard except Carlos. And we're gonna call it good. For actually, Carlos, are you doing your normal space on Wednesday this week?
Yeah, and I think I'm gonna do one tomorrow too. So I think I'm gonna do one tomorrow, and then I'll do it on Wednesday as well.
All right, so Carlos will have his Raw reaction just shortly after Raw. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, and then we'll have the Wednesday Night Chaos just shortly after Dynamite. So stay tuned to his account as he gets that posted. I will get it reposted as well as soon as he gets it up. And we are out of time. Have a great week, everyone. We'll catch you again Monday and Wednesday on X Space.